Ever wondered how a professional executor can simplify the inheritance process in Israel? Inheritance is a deeply personal and often complex process. This is where a professional executor comes in. An executor is a trusted individual or institution appointed to manage the estate of someone who has passed away. Their role is crucial because they ensure the deceased's wishes are carried out, and their estate is distributed as they intended. In Israel, the role of an executor is multifaceted. They're not just responsible for distributing assets as per the deceased's will. They also handle a plethora of other responsibilities. These include settling debts, paying taxes, and even handling disputes and claims against the estate. Navigating the legal landscape of inheritance in Israel is no small task. It's a labyrinth of laws, procedures, and paperwork. But a professional executor is well versed in these complexities. They know the law, understand the procedures, and can efficiently handle the paperwork. They can navigate this maze with ease, ensuring the process is smooth and stress-free for the beneficiaries. But the role of a professional executor goes beyond just legal and administrative duties. They act as a neutral party, ensuring fair distribution of the estate. They help prevent potential conflicts and disputes among beneficiaries. This peace of mind is invaluable during a time of grief. Hiring a professional executor in Israel brings numerous benefits. With their expertise, they can expedite the inheritance process, saving time and effort. They can also provide legal protection, reducing the risk of potential disputes or legal issues. Plus, they bring a level of objectivity and professionalism that can be comforting during a difficult time. In essence, a professional executor can be a beacon of light guiding you through the often murky waters of inheritance. They can simplify the process, alleviate stress, and ensure the deceased's wishes are honored. Now that we understand the role of a professional executor, let's delve into the laws that govern inheritance in Israel. Israel has unique inheritance laws. Are you aware of them? Well, buckle up as we delve into the intricacies of the Israeli inheritance law. In Israel, the order of inheritance is determined by the Succession Law of 1965. This law stipulates that the deceased's estate is primarily inherited by statutory heirs, which include the spouse, children, parents, and siblings of the deceased. If the deceased has no statutory heirs, the estate goes to the state. The law also dictates the order of inheritance. The spouse gets the first cut, receiving half of the estate if there are children or parents, and 2/3 if there are only siblings. Children come next, inheriting the remainder of the estate. If there are no children, then the parents of the deceased inherit. If there are no parents, the siblings of the deceased inherit the estate. Now, how are assets divided? The law provides a simple answer: equally. That's right, each heir receives an equal share of the estate. For instance, if there are 2 children, each child will receive an equal share of the remaining estate after the spouse's share has been deducted. But here's where things can get a little complicated. If an heir is a minor or incapacitated, the court may appoint a guardian to manage the heir's share until they are able to do so themselves. Heirs also have legal obligations and rights. They are required to pay any debts the deceased may have left behind. On the bright side, they have the right to challenge the will if they believe it to be invalid, and they can also demand an accounting of the estate from the executor. Speaking of executors, they too have a role to play in this process. Executors are responsible for administering the estate according to the will and the law. They locate the assets, pay the debts, and distribute the remaining assets to the heirs. Inheritance laws in Israel are designed to ensure a fair distribution of assets. But how does an executor fit into this process? Well, we'll delve into that in our next segment. So, stay tuned. How does a professional executor interact with Israeli inheritance laws? This question brings us to the heart of our discussion today. In the labyrinth of Israeli inheritance law, a professional executor serves as a guide, navigating the complex legal terrain to ensure a smooth transition of assets from the deceased to the rightful heirs. This role is crucial and often involves working closely with lawyers, accountants, and other professionals. Firstly, the executor plays a pivotal role in executing the will. They ensure the last wishes of the deceased are adhered to, as laid out in the will. This may involve selling property, dividing assets, or even managing a business. The executor's actions are guided by the will and the laws of the land, ensuring that the distribution of assets is both fair and legal. However, it's not always smooth sailing. Disputes among heirs are common, and when they arise, the executor steps in as a mediator. They listen to the concerns of all parties, working to find a resolution that is in line with the deceased's wishes and the inheritance law. Their aim is to prevent these disputes from escalating into full-blown legal battles. The executor also ensures that taxes and debts are paid before the assets are distributed, preventing any future legal complications for the heirs. They handle this meticulously, making sure that the estate is not eroded by unnecessary penalties or interest. The Israeli inheritance law provides legal protections for executors. These protections allow them to carry out their duties without fear of personal liability. It's important to remember, though, that these protections only apply if the executor is acting within the scope of their responsibilities and in good faith. In essence, the executor is a facilitator, a mediator, and a protector. They facilitate the execution of the will, mediate disputes among heirs, and protect the interests of the deceased and the heirs. They operate within a legal framework that supports and guides their actions. So, a professional executor not only simplifies the process but also ensures everything is done legally. So, why should you consider hiring a professional executor in Israel? We've covered a lot in this video, but let's circle back to this pivotal question. Israeli inheritance laws can be complex and multifaceted, often making the process of managing an estate an overwhelming task. This is where a professional executor comes into play. Their expertise and knowledge of the Israeli legal system can be a lifeline in these situations. They not only understand the ins and outs of the inheritance laws but can also provide guidance and support throughout the process. They can help you avoid common pitfalls and ensure that the estate is managed efficiently and effectively. This service isn't just about making life easier, it's about providing peace of mind during a challenging time, ensuring that all legal requirements are met and the wishes of the departed are honored. Remember, a professional executor can be a valuable ally in navigating the intricate world of Israeli inheritance laws. So when it comes to managing an estate in Israel, you don't have to do it alone.